Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. I'm back here again today talking to you about childhood obesity and the diseases that result from childhood obesity, and asking that you seriously consider what it is that you can do to help reverse the preventable disease of childhood obesity and the resulting sicknesses and illnesses and disease that result from our kids being overweight and obese. And you know, I keep saying this over and over, that as a nation we simply cannot afford to allow our children to be overweight and have the diseases that they get from being overweight, nor can we allow our adults to continue being overweight when it's all from lifestyle choices, decisions that we make on a meal-by-meal basis about what we're eating and how much we're eating. And there was a report that was published on Monday, July 15th, 2013. Today is Wednesday the 17th, and in Health Day News, and it talks about the risk factor for high blood pressure in American teens and children increased 27% over 13 years as waistlines thickened and kids consume more salt in their diets. High blood pressure is the predominant risk factor for stroke, and stroke rates have been rising in children in the U.S. over recent years. As the obesity epidemic continues, doctors are seeing more children with high blood pressure. One doctor said, "Today alone, I will see 10 to 15 patients, mostly teenagers, that are overweight with hypertension." The first step in treating these children is to change their diet and increase the amount of exercise they do. "I give them a plan they can follow," she said. "I tell them to try to lose a pound a week." This MD also counsels her patients to reduce the salt in their diet. Much of the salt that children consume comes from processed foods and drinks like sodas, she said. If you're drinking Gatorade while watching TV or working on the computer, you're just intoxicating yourself with salt. Another doctor said that the new study adds to the weight of evidence that sodium intake affects blood pressure in children as well as adults. The pathway from increased sodium intake to elevated blood pressure to rising incidence of stroke is cause for both concern and corrective action. Americans eat an average of 3,400 milligrams of salt every day. That's more than twice the American Heart Association's recommendation of 1,500 milligrams or less. 2/3 of the salt is from processed foods and restaurant meals. The association between body mass index, a measure of body fat, and blood pressure is even stronger than the association with sodium. As obesity rates rise in our kids, so does their blood pressure. The high salt content of processed food is correctable, as are the influences making children obese. If we needed another reason to take action, this study provides one. As our kids' blood pressure rises, so does the pressure on all of us to do what's necessary to put a stop to these trends. High blood pressure accounts for more than 350,000 preventable deaths each year in the United States alone. Wow, folks, 350,000 preventable deaths. You know, it's just mind-boggling to me. And on one hand, I get it, I understand. I used to weigh about 110, 15 pounds more than I do now. I was overweight most of my life. Food was my drug of choice. You know, I lived on cheese and on ice cream and on potato chips and cookies and all kinds of junk food and processed foods and high-fat meals, and I didn't exercise. I hated to sweat. And then I was introduced to plant-based eating and was amazed not only at the weight release I experienced, but at the health benefits and how much better I felt, and quickly moved from being pre-diabetic to normal blood sugar ranges, and blood pressure came down into healthy ranges, and then of course the challenge was, well, how do I maintain this? Because there was still that siren's call of hot fudge malts and cookies and cinnamon rolls and you know, fried chicken and all those things, and it was a struggle. But then I discovered hypnosis, and discovered that with hypnosis it became really easy for me to be desiring exercise, to be more active, to be motivated to be active, and also to end my desire for the foods that made me fat and sick, and create a really healthy desire, a healthy craving for vegetables, for whole grains, for fruit, and for water, foods that allowed me to get to a healthy ideal weight and stay there. And I've been at my healthy ideal weight for about 16 years now. Still overweight most of my life, but for the last 16 years, I've been at a really good, healthy weight. And what's been amazing to me over these last 16 years is the abilities that I have had to be out in this world and do things. And 2 weeks ago, I was in the Boundary Waters canoe area with my youngest son. He's 31, lives with his wife in Minneapolis. And the two of us were up there in the wilderness canoeing, and we did 5 days, 4 nights. We did a 75-mile loop. One day we paddled 22 miles. The next day we followed up with a 19-mile paddle and paddling and portaging. You know, it was work. It was strenuous. But I was able to do that, and that was something I never ever could have done when I weighed 110, 15 pounds more than I do now. And just this past Saturday, I rode my bicycle in the Seattle to Portland bike ride. There's 10,000 cyclists. Most people do it in 2 days, but a lot of us did it in 1 day. We rode our bikes 204 miles all in 1 day. That was 12 straight hours in the saddle. And I did it. And Monday morning I was back on my bike and went for a great ride. And today I was in spin class and looking forward to riding my bike this weekend. It was, and what's amazing to me is the beauty that's out there in this world when you're out riding your bike, or when you're out paddling a canoe, or you're out hiking, or you're just walking around your block in your neighborhood taking your dog for a walk. Those are all things that are very, very possible, along with the joys of taking grandchildren to Disneyland and spending 2 or 3 days on your feet walking and keeping up with them and being able to do things, or take them to the beach and take them to Maui or wherever you want to take them and be able to play with them and feel comfortable in a swimsuit. Those are the joys of taking weight off and keeping it off. And those are the joys that we're taking away from our children. We truly can prevent childhood obesity. We can prevent and reverse adult obesity. We can reduce the rate of disease and illness in this nation and create a healthy nation and lower our health care costs. We absolutely must reform health care. We cannot continue doing what we're doing. We must reform it. We're going bankrupt doing what we're doing. But health care reforms begin with each one of us taking responsibility for our own health care. And you can do that by eating whole grains and vegetables and fruit, and by using self-hypnosis and being more active. So my challenge to you is, first of all, what are you going to do for yourself about eating healthy and being more active? And secondly, what about your family? What about your kids? And what foods do you buy in the grocery store? What foods are you bringing home for them? And are you going to fill your cupboards with Oreo cookies and potato chips and string cheese and stuff that makes them fat and sick? Or are you going to fill your refrigerator with vegetables and fruit and have whole grains in your cupboards and have healthy meals and healthy snacks and get your kids drinking water? It's a choice. It's a decision for you to make. And as responsible parents and grandparents, we do have that responsibility to give care, to protect and love and nurture our children. So take a look at all the tools and the resources here at hypnosishealthinfo.com and at slenderforlife.com. And if there's any way that I can be of support, I'd be happy to see you here in my Seattle hypnosis office or over on Bainbridge Island in my office there. And I have clients in several states and in several countries around the world that I see via Skype. So there's lots of possibilities no matter where you live I can work together with you or with your family at supporting you in your health and wellness. So take a look at all the tools and resources. Give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com, and let me know how to support you. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.